share that?
Hi, I'm Becky Huss, and I'm here to talk about the Montgomery Quilt Walk. The Quilt Walk this year is being held on October 17th and 18th in downtown Montgomery. What is downtown Montgomery? That would be basically the 4 to 6 block radius that includes the community center, the downtown corridor on 149, and over to the historic churches on, what is that street name? Prairie. No,
Prayer,
Prairie's on the other
the other
side.
side. Oh, I can't think.
Pond Street. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's Pond Street. Oh my goodness. I've only lived here for a decade and a lot. So, anyway. So what is the Quilt Walk? The Quilt Walk is a display of mostly local, but we do have people from outside as well getting their quilts to us. A display of quilts. We have them inside 2 historic churches. They're folded up over the pews. It's a lovely setting. Each church has its own history and its own vibe. And then we have 75 to 100 quilts outside throughout the downtown. The local merchants have agreed to work with us, and we're able to string up the line to put the quilts over, and it's a beautiful experience. They're flapping in the wind. You can see the front and the back without asking anyone to turn it over. Big quilts, you can see the whole thing, which for some of them changes everything entirely. We've had some legit kits before, and if you've ever done one or seen one, you know that having it folded up and seeing just a corner of it is not going to do
Yeah,
it
no,
for
that's
you.
not going to do it.
So what type of quilts get entered? Well, this year our theme is circle quilts or curved quilts, and really anything counts as a curve. You can have a gentle curve if you're doing improv cutting and sewing. You could have a circle with either applique or machine stitched down. You can do things that actually have straight lines. If you have ever done or seen a good storm at sea, it is all straight lines, but yet when you step back, it's got a very curvy type of appearance that comes out. So that's one of the categories that we're doing specially this year. Every year we highlight our under 16 quilters. We'd like to make sure that the ones that we have are represented and give kids that come to see the event the opportunity to realize that what they do is worthy of being there too, and grow the next generation of quilters. We also have a category for patriotic quilts. Quilts of Valor is often a recipient of money that we raise for to support it. Every year we've raised about $2,000 to $3,000 for them, and we like to put our patriotic quilts out around where they set up. This year it will be at the community center in Montgomery, which is 14420 Liberty Street.
Look at you.
I
You couldn't
know.
think of Pond Street and you got that address.
Exactly. I guess when you type it so many times, some things stick, others not so much. But other than those categories, we are open to absolutely any type of quilt, a new quilt, an old quilt. 2 years ago, we had a gorgeous bunch of antique quilts that were entered into the quilt walk, and those were in the church, and it worked out really, really well. It was interesting to see the different techniques and the different fabrics, especially that were in those quilts, going from the late 1800s. We had one from that age up until the 1960s and 70s, which had its own groovy quilting vibe. So one of the things that you can do is when you enter your quilt in the quilt walk, you can state whether you'd like it to be inside or outside. And that's an important distinction that people, I think, are worried about. Like, they don't want grandma's quilt to be flapping in the wind outside. And we totally understand that. We have space for many quilts in an indoor setting, and they'll have to be folded up to be put over the pews so people don't step on them. But we will take good care of your quilt and treat it in the way that it deserves to be treated. Now, of course, we were talking about this earlier. You can't guarantee that nobody will touch them,
Yeah.
especially the outdoor ones. And we have white gloves, but that doesn't really stop people, unless you've got bulletproof glass or something like that. They'll find a way to get in and touch your quilt, even if you say, oh, we don't touch quilts here.
And we do put signs up that say
We
do
do.
not touch
Yes.
the quilts.
And we don't let food and beverages into the church, so that helps too.
Yeah.
Occasionally your quilts will get lucky, and the organ player for the church will be practicing during the quilt walk, so your quilts can kind of feel a little bit more refined.
Love it.
So, like I said, the event is October 17th and 18th this year. That is a Friday and Saturday. It's being held from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you come at 4, you might still be able to see a couple of the outdoor ones before we take them down for the night. We do take all of them down on Friday night and then put them up again on Saturday morning.
And we will have vendors.
We will have vendors.
Yes.
The
I think we're
Lutheran
booked,
Church
though, but
at the
yeah.
Historic Methodist Church on Pond Street
Yeah.
has a small hall that we're able to have 6 to 10 vendors in, and so that will be a great opportunity. The weather in October has historically been very nice.
Yes, it is.
I mean, today it's in the 70s, so maybe it's not as much of a draw to come here
but
when
it's
it's
also
only in the
rain,
70s.
right?
But it is
But I
pouring.
think last year it was like 84 and partly sunny.
It was.
And it was beautiful.
It wasn't very humid. And
Yeah.
so, yep, we've been lucky the last 3 years. This is our 4th year having the festival successfully. The first year it was rained out, but we have access to the churches now, so there is no such thing as a rain out. So that part is very nice to work out.
Yeah.
There is no admission charge. We are doing this with the support of Threaded Lines, yay, and the city of Montgomery. So we are able to take care of all of that without charging admission. And so far, we have not had the same problem that other people have had where they felt the need to have gated entry or timed entry and tickets. So if you come, sometimes they're busier than others, but especially since we have the outdoor venue.
It really spreads it out. So there's not been any limits at all on that.
Right. There's no fear of the fire marshal to come and see how many people we have in the church, because it's always available, and our white gloves are great at being able to talk to people about various quilts. And a number of people have quilts for sale at the event. When you enter your quilt, you may check a box that says, "Is your quilt for sale?" and then provide your contact information and the price. We do not get involved in any of the transactional aspects of it, but we're providing that as a service for our area quilters to maybe sell 1 or 2 of their creations, because I think we all might have 1 or 2 extra quilts that we wouldn't mind selling for the right price.
I don't know.
Exactly. And as one of the merchants downtown told me, if it's not sentimental, it's for sale.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
But we are having raffle quilts, right?
Yes. So there are going to be raffle quilts. The Quilt Walk Facebook page has had the fabric up for one of them, and you can see the pattern. And that one benefits the Lone Star Quilts of Valor, Montgomery Lone Stars Quilts of Valor. And then we have historically had one sponsored by Threaded Lines.
And we will have one sponsored by
This is new
Threaded.
information breaking now.
I'm not sure which one, but we'll get one in there.
So, and that one historically has benefited Animal Shelter Volunteers of Texas. Mm-hmm. And they're a wonderful local group for adopting animals, or if you like to foster animals, they're a great group to foster for. So it's nice to raise money to help local organizations, bring people to Montgomery, which helps our local merchants, highlight quilting for people who wouldn't necessarily have any access to it otherwise, especially the outdoor ones. People just driving by can see them. And we've had people say, well, I didn't know that this was quilting. So it's fantastic to be able to provide a window to the medium that isn't available 24/7, 365 instead, or even they don't have to pay, they don't have to stop and commit to it, but they can stay as long as they want.
And really, it's different from a traditional quilt show where it's all inside in a convention center. That really the joy of this is being able to walk around the town and not only see the quilts, but the cute little shops and everything else that's going on. And you really get a nice flavor of our little town of Montgomery.
Exactly.
Which I love this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And last year we started doing rides for people who needed them in
golf carts. That was so much fun.
So we had a big golf cart contingent. They were very enthusiastic drivers and recipients as well. I think, so if you are mobility challenged, don't feel like the city of Montgomery is not doable for you, because we can set you up and take you around and give you a private tour.
Yeah.
Because this is for everyone. Beginner quilters, experienced quilters, people with great mobility, people with limited mobility, people who want to spend 5 seconds, people who want to spend 5 hours. It is all an option for you here.
Yes, that's what makes this so wonderful. All right, any closing remarks?
So as a plug, we of course need quilts to make this happen. And we have
just so you have the information, there's the dates, sorry, like that, but here is the QR codes for quilts if you want to donate a quilt or if you want to become a volunteer. Hopefully I'm holding that steady enough. You can just scan that code and it'll take you where you need to go to sign up or volunteer. All right, there you go.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming by and telling us about us. We're trying to get the word out.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you.
Well, we will see y'all then. Thank you.
See you in October.